welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So I have a precarious stack of books next to me, so I'm going to try to do this quickly so I can get this stack to be less intimidating next to me. Okay, so I decided I wanted to go over the unread book of the month books that I have going into this year. I did this last year, and I actually really liked being able to check them off as I read them. So I have been a book of the month member since 2015. 2016? No. Yeah, I think it was the end of 2015 because I had just moved in with Patrick. So, yes, 2015. And I feel like I've done a really awesome job of staying on top of this. My list right now is actually really not that intimidating, so I could really appreciate that. So I really like being able to check them off, keep track of what I'm doing. I started off 2022 with 21 unread book of the month books. I read 17 of those 21. I bought 39 more, and I read 27 of those, which leaves me with a TBR of 13. That math sounds weird. I don't know if that's true. I feel like I read more than that. So I read 17 plus 27. Okay, so then I read 40. Okay, so I read 44 altogether, but 17 of those were from last year. 27 were for the ones that I currently bought. So I'm ending the year with 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 new books. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 books left over from last year that I'm rolling into this year. So I have 4 books from 2021 that rolled into 2022 that I did not read in 2022 that are now rolling over with me, if that makes sense. I'm going to show you them all, and it'll make so much more sense. But then I'm going into this year with 13 from 2022 purchases for a total of 17 books, which is not bad because guess what? I've already read a bunch. So that's also fantastic. So let's just get started, and it'll make more sense, I feel like, as I show them to you. So the books that I have that I started last year with that I didn't get to, that hopefully I'll get to this year, I've got Atomic Love by Jenny Fields. This one I wanted to get to because I think it was one of those months where I really didn't like much of the choices anyways, but I had thought this would be a good one, and then I kind of had heard meh things about it, and I think that's why I've stayed away from it for so long, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get to it soon. It takes place in 1950s. It's about a woman who has an affair with a colleague as they were working on an atomic bomb, I believe. And then she resigns, and then I think this FBI agent kind of enlists her to do some work to dig into the guy that she was interested in. I'm not sure. I don't really know, but this is one that I got in August of 2020, so hopefully I'll get to it soon. If you've watched my books that I'm mad that I didn't read last year, this was one of the ones that I was mad at last year. This is Tastemakers. I was really excited to get to this one. I've must search Hoopla and Libby at least once a month, or if not more, for if this book has gotten put on their ebook list. So hopefully this year I'm just gonna suck it up and read it physically. That was a book that the date isn't on it, but I got it December of 2021. The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abby Dare. Now, this is not because of lack of trying. I tried to listen to it on audio. I didn't like it. The sound just wasn't I wasn't going to be able to pay attention to it. I picked it up one day to try to read it physically, but it was right after I had Sawyer, so my brain was not ready for it. But I am on hold at the library for it. I've been on hold for a while for it to read it digitally. I think I'm supposed to get it in about 16 weeks. I put my hold on the ebook copy October 15th. I started 23rd in line. I am now 8th in line. So hopefully I will get to it soon. Because this just feels like one that I need to read digitally. I don't know why, but for some reason my brain is telling me I need to do that. So this one will get read this year. I promise. I promise. Because so many of you have been wanting me to read that one. So hopefully I will get to it soon. And then the last one that I'm going into this year with from older titles is Ash Lord's January of 2020, You know me in fantasy. I'm not a big fantasy reader, but this is another one that I am constantly checking not Goodreads, constantly checking Hoopla and Libby for, but they never have it digitally, so this is going to be one that I'm going to have to pick up physically. But you know me in fantasy, it just not a priority. So hopefully. Like this cover though is like stunning. Like just holding it next to me, I'm like, this is beautiful. Hopefully I can read it soon. But famous last words, right? Now, these are the books that like I bought in 2022 and haven't read yet. So those were like old ones. These are the ones that I bought in 2022 that I just haven't read yet. But what I love to say, I'm currently reading one. I've read 3, and I started 2 others last year, just didn't finish them, and then the rest are what they are. But like I'm pleased with this stack. I can handle this stack. So I'm currently reading Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. So probably by the time this video goes up, this one will definitely be done because I'm hoping to read it within the next few days. I have read Signal Fires by Dani Shapiro, but when I planned out this video weeks ago, I hadn't read this yet. So oh, sorry. I hadn't read this one yet. So I've read it now. Same thing with Siren Queen and Tomorrow. So when I planned this video at the end of December, I did not anticipate that I wouldn't be filming it to the middle of January, but I've already read these 3. In 2022, I did start The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I got 55 pages in, and I had to put it on pause because my brain just wasn't ready for it at that time. So I did attempt to read it. I just didn't finish it. And same thing with The Attic Child by Lola J. I will go back to these. I got 50 pages in, but at that time, my brain just wasn't reading things physically, so these had to get put on the side for a minute. Now, the rest are ones that I haven't even attempted at all, but most of them were from like the second half of the year, so like I'm not mad at that I didn't get to yet. We've got White Horse by Erica T. Worth. Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I feel like this is going to be like a March read or October read. So we'll see if I get to it in March. If I don't get it to in March, it'll probably be October. Killers of a Certain Age. I think I'm on hold for this one at the library. You're Invited by Amanda Jaitsa. This is one that I'm very angry at that I didn't read last year. If you watched that video, this was a very close in running for that list because I'm mad that I didn't get to it. Sign Here by Claudia Lux. Breathless, which I plan to read hopefully in the winter months because it has winter on the cover. And then the oldest one on this list is I Must Betray You by Rita Sepetys because I got this one in February last year and clearly haven't read it yet. But yes, so my list is not that daunting. I feel like it could be worse, but you know what? I am consuming what I have bought. This is also not including the books that I just got in January. So that's fine. But I like looking back at this list. I like looking back at like last year. Like I was so excited that I went into last year with 21 books and that I read all of them but 4. Like that was fantastic for me. So I love lists. I love being able to check things off. So I thought you guys would be interested in seeing this as well. Let me know how many you have unread. What ones are you prioritizing this year? And I will see you guys really soon. Bye, everybody.